classified ad said, no early birds please. 9 a.m. sharp, this yard sale proceeds. The shirt on my back and everything that I own is scattered out here outside on this lawn. So take what you need, it's no use to me. I'm leaving here soon.
Welcome.
For a place in the country. I'm standing out here.
I'm with you. It's Wednesday.
This day is done. I'm drinking tequila under a big orange sun. I was watching the news when the weather came on.
I think I'm with you.
Just more of the usual. Rain, cloud, and sun. That's when I heard.
Well,
The meteorologist.
I hope I'm live with you. I don't know.
Thanks should go out to some young children.
I'm assuming I am.
For sending these drawings.
All of this was working before I turned the go button on.
You can see from these pictures.
I'm going to try this again over here so I can see you. Hopefully you're here.
And the people out working.
There you go.
Everyone having fun.
There we go.
Living their lives
Sweet.
under a big orange sun.
So, welcome back to the first string theory of 2025. I'm playing one of the greatest Canadian songwriters ever, Johnny Gillis from Inverness, Cape Breton Island. He's an unsung hero.
Under heaven's creation.
He's a genius level writer.
And the joy
And so I'm starting the show with him because I love him and I love his music. Want to thank our partners, Boucher, Levy's, G&G Music, the Guitar House in Mississauga, Stan Kaczynski, Brickhouse Guitars, Roger Schmidt, Acoustic Shoppy in Springfield, Missouri, Parkway Music in Albany, New York, K&K, Gallagher, Alvarez Yeri, St. Louis Music, thank you guys, Yamaha, Close Guitars, Cody Guitars, D'Addario Canada, Apollo Picks, Epiphone Gibson, Blue Chip Picks, Toe Slab, LR Bags, all kinds of new stuff coming up from them. Maestro, Hosen Young, you're the man, Singapore. George Crackett, one of my best buddies in the world, one of my closest friends in this business. Love you, George. Emerald Guitars, the Nova Scotia SPCA, Charmed Life Picks, Picker Grip, Kennard Guitars from down in Nacogdoches, Texas. Love you guys. Beautiful guitars. Edwinson Guitars, Fairhope, Alabama. Shenmo from our buddies over in China, building guitars like crazy. Flamang, Green, Iowa. Cirrus Guitars, MJ Franks and the boys down in Detroit. Rickard Banjos and Deering Banjos. So yeah, there you go, boys. This is it. We're together. There's Johnny. What a goddamn monster that guy is. What a monster. And also, yeah. So the first thing I want you to realize going on forward right now, you guys know I usually drink Stella or some other foreign name. I've decided tonight to go with Labatt's Blue. Labatt's Blue is a quintessential Canadian beer. It's been around forever. My father drank this. I actually am really enjoying this. I haven't drank it for years and years and years since I ever had a blue. And it's deadly. It's really good. I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying this right now. Yeah, and so Canadian beer is on the tap tonight because I'm Canadian. I am Canadian. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And drinking some Crown Royal, also a Canadian product, right here. Just sitting here being Canadian. Because you know what? I'm Canadian, and anybody who thinks they could change that, right? They could take a long suck off of my white, fat, fucking Canadian ass. That's what they can do. Just so you know where we stand on this. So, yeah. Canadian. Don't forget it. We love you. We love everybody. But we're Canadian. Yeah. So that's about the length of my commentary off the top. So tonight for Capo Corner, I want to go through comments because there's so many. As you guys know, there is so many comments. So let me see now. I'm just going to dig into the old YT studio and content. And let's see here. No, I don't want that. Comments. Latest comments. Okay, here we go. Okay, so let's see here. Let's see. Sorry. Latest comments. Nothing is working right tonight. It's really weird. Okay. Oh, there's one. Choo Choo Poppy. Choo Choo Poppy 3240. Says, I just acquired a new FG5 gloss. So it's a gloss finish instead of the regular satin finish. From the Chapmans. Our buddies out in at the acoustic shoppy. Sounds incredible. Good. Let's see. Jesus. Good Lord. Jesus. Let's see. There's so many things. Sorry. I'm ill prepared. Let's see. Latest comments. Maybe I should do this another way. For some reason, I'm not able to find my comments that I want to look at. Jesus. Seems like YouTube has changed everything on me just now, like right this minute. There was a huge everything in the room updated about 20 minutes ago with no warning. And yeah, so that's pretty fucking weird. Let's see, members, videos, Jesus. Yeah, this could be problems. Okay, well, maybe I'm not going to look at comments. I thought I could. Jesus. Oh, here we go. No, that's not it. Boys, I'm sorry, but yeah. Comments. Yeah. Unfortunately, for some reason, I can't access the list of contents of comments. Totally bizarre. Anyhow, sorry about that. I just wasted 5 minutes of your life. You'll never get back. All right, let's go to the old chat board. Wow. Okay, cool. Let's see. Okay, so let's start with Eli Patrick. He's on here and he says, "Hey everybody, what guitar tone woods have surprised you the most in terms of tonal quality?" Let's see. Okay, well, the one I'd have to say the one that kind of freaks me out the most is I've seen a number of ebony guitars. Not a huge number, but 2 or 3, like a half dozen, that are the back and sides are ebony. And I would have never have thought that that would be any good at all because it's such a hard, dense, sort of unforgiving wood. That's why it's used for fretboards and bridges because it's indestructible. And you'd think that if you made the back and the sides out of ebony, that you'd have a guitar that was like shrill and unforgiving, like just no warmth. It would just be all, you know. But the ones that I've played were really surprising. They sounded, warm and they had great projection, but I also found that they were heavy. The guitars were physically heavy, heavier than like Brazilian rosewood's really heavy because it's so dense. It's a heavy wood. Ebony is heavy. It's yeah. So that's probably the thing that really over the like in 2024, that was the thing that kind of freaked me out a lot. I was seeing ebony built guitars, and they were great guitars. So yeah, good question, Eli. Love you, buddy. Love you, brother. You're a hell of a musician. Stephen Baker says he was impressed with the Cirrus guitars. Of course, MJ Franks and the boys down in Detroit there, man, they're killing it. You have a master grade luthier. It's just like be the same thing as if Robin decided to do, budget price guitars that are under $3,000. That's what they turn out like because Robin's a master luthier. MJ Franks is a master luthier. So his factory made CNC designed, like, those guitars are flawless for one thing because they're being put together by guys who really know what they're doing. And secondly, they have MJ Franks. Mike is looking over all this stuff. Putting all his knowledge and trademark ideas into the instruments. They're making beautiful instruments, and they're made 100% in America. Nothing out from outside the country, and they're priced way below what they actually would be worth if they were Martins or they were whatever. So like if you want a really killer American guitar, that's where you have to go. There's nothing else that I know of that's building at that quality at that price. There's nothing. Even the Xianmos are great guitars, but they're made in China. But they're also they're made by a luthier shop. It's not a factory. It's a small group of master luthiers building the guitars. But Cirrus is building all this stuff right there in Michigan. And so yeah, if you need American quality, American content, all that stuff, that's the place to go. And if you want Canadian, go to Robin Boucher. Canadian. Canadian. So there you go. Let's see here. Local Larry's in the house. Mark Andrews says hello from beautiful Denver. Love Colorado. It's beautiful. Let's see here. Greetings from Greece. Paniotis Kanelopoulos. What a name. Wicked. Love you guys. Thanks, Greece. Oh, Andy A says howdy from Saltillo, Mississippi. Oh, shit. I know that place. Okay, just going through here, sorry. Ginger's not here, obviously, neither is Coot. Ginger had to go to a funeral in Ontario, so our thoughts are with her and her family. Her grandmother passed, so yeah. So she'll be home tonight, though. She's going to be home late tonight. Oh, Bill Day says we see you here in Tucker County, West Virginia. Holy shit. Man, I love the South. Love the South. Corey McCormick, Super Chat. Member for 5 months. He's a newbie. Love you, Corey. What are you looking forward to the most in 2025? Well, I think it's weird because I've usually, okay, how do I put this? So normally my year goes, what is Ryan, our agent, what is Ryan going to book? What does the year look like for touring? Et cetera, et cetera. But because of this, because of YouTube and because of all of you and all the like hundreds of thousands of people that get on here, all the different shows, this show, Guitar Stuff with John, Road Dog reviews are going to start this year, which will be retroactive reviews of guitars that I've had for years, so I can show you how they've fared on the road. Like, because of all of this, my future is a blank slate, because I keep meeting the greatest people and the greatest builders and people from all over the world, and they embrace what I'm doing, and it's really humbling, really humbling. My relationship with the guitar world is it's life altering. So when I look ahead in 25, what I'm really looking at first of all is how can I help all my partner builders and my partner, my gear people, and what happens as we grow together, because we do. These things are, they're all tied together. So I don't know if I should say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. A few days ago, I had a phone call from MJ Franks, Cirrus Guitars. And he lost his son. He lost his son over the Christmas holidays. And yet he called me and he told me what was happening, and I was like, oh my God, is there anything I can do for you? And he said to me, He said, no. I'm. We're going through a hard time. He's going to be going through this the rest of his life. He lose a child, right? But he said, he said, I just wanted you to know that you turned this whole thing around for us. You turned the whole company is we're getting attention from, you know, everywhere because of that one guitar review. And it hit me how much I'm personally involved with each one of these builders, and how much they mean to me. They're my family, and I've always said that I've never treated anyone differently than anyone else. The guy that builds 10 guitars a year is just as much a valid member of the family on here as Epiphone Gibson and Boucher, and like the guys that are building 500, or Alvarez that builds 1,000,000 guitars a year, Yeri that builds whatever they build. All these people are my family, and I want, if you're praying people and stuff like that, say a prayer for the Franks and the guys at Sierra's Guitars, because he called me and told me all this, and expressed how happy he was that he was part of this family. And so that is part of what I'm looking forward to in 25. I'm looking forward to how do we go forward? What can I do to help all these wonderful people that have come on board with the channel, and all the people that watch this who are huge guitar heads. And I want you guys to be able to get great instruments, no matter what your budget is. I want you to be able to be part of this, be part of the family, and grow in the family. And we get 300 to 600 subscribers every month new. We're going to pass the 40,000 subscriber mark this year, and it's just awesome. I mean, that's my 25. It used to be, 5 years ago, all I had to concern myself with was how many gigs I would have, and whether or not I was well enough to make the trips, and fighting all kinds of things, like everything. It was a whole other world. Now I have a greater strength in everything I do because of you. That's the deal. Because of all of you, I have a greater strength in my life and my career and my love of music and my. I was talking to Ray Legier tonight, who's one of the greatest musicians that ever come out of Canada in the history of music. And I told him, I said, I'm going to be 56 in 8 days from today. 23rd of January, I'll be 56. I can't even believe it. I don't feel 56. I feel like I'm 20. I don't feel my age. And I am still... I have this drive, even now, after all this years, after playing the guitar for 50 years, right? 51 years. 51 years playing. And 43 years touring. I get this drive to continue learning and continue playing and continue, like, drawing in new fans and impressing people in the industry that that mean something to me, that I want them to look at what I do and go, Jesus, that guy's on fire, right? These are the dreams of a young man in his 20s, not a guy who's looking 60 in the face. But I can't help it, and this whole thing is why that is. This entire world that Ginger and I created online, that's why we're here, and why I feel the way I do. So that was a great question. It was a really great question, and I'm sorry I went down a rabbit hole there, but I love you. Thank you for that. So yeah, Corey McCormick. Wicked good question. Uh, okay, here's a good question. Adam K says, "Hey JP, what was your thought process behind doing an all mandolin album, which was called Times Eight? How did you, in your mind, make it interesting? I love this album." So, first thing is, I've got 24 records. I think 3 or 4 of them online. We're gonna put them all up. We are gonna get that done this year. I'm in the process of actually re-releasing some of the older titles. So I'm gonna tell you a quick story. The reason X8 times 8 got made was because a good buddy, one of my best buddies in Shetty Camp, Rene Lafort, who just passed. We just lost him, and he fucking loved the mandolin. He played the mandolin. He was a monster player. And I made this tape, like this recording, in my house, in my studio, of 4 or 5 sets of mandolin tunes. That was a Christmas present for him. It wasn't meant for anybody else. And when I took it to him, he lost his shit. He was like, "Oh my god, oh, goddamn, oh Jesus!" He was just losing his mind, right? And he goes, "Oh, goddamn, JP, you should put that out as a record, you know." And I said, "Well, maybe I will." So I did. I took those cuts I did just for him, that were for no one else. They were for him. I never gave it to anybody else. Took him. I went back to the studio, looked at it, added, I think it was another 6 cuts, and I put out the album. And on top of that, at the time, and I was working with a great friend of mine, Terry Egan, on his project called Patio Records. And the concept of Patio Records was pretty simple. His wife died of cancer years and years and years ago. And her one regret as she lay dying in the hospital was that she couldn't get outside to see the sky or a tree or anything. So when she passed, Terry made it his life's work to make sure that there were gardens built on the sides of these cancer treatment centers. And so I don't know how many he's built now, but it's a lot. He's built them in Boston, Ottawa, like they're all over the place. And he brought recognition to this idea through Patio Records. He got all these artists to come together and make records for the Patio Records label, which he sold, and the proceeds went to the project. And that's how Times 8 got made. It's also how Velvet Arm Golden Hand got made, which was the duet album with me and my Uncle Joe. And Terry Egan's an angel. The guy, and he's still living, he's still going strong. I just seen him not long ago in Mass, like maybe just a few months ago, I think. And he's a beautiful man, and he's still doing the Patio Project. He has concerts every year that draw hundreds of people, and all that money goes into the fund. He works with hospitals all over the northeastern quadrant of Canada and the U.S. to build these patios so that people who are dying of cancer can go outside and sit there, even roll them out in the bed, and they can just sit there and they can see the sky and trees and flowers and water fountains, and like it's just unbelievable what he's done. So that's how it got made. And another great question, because normally I would never have any reason to talk about any of that. So yeah, that's a great question. Here's to Terry Egan. He's a great man, and he's my friend, and he has been for almost 30 years now. So here's to Terry Egan, Patio Records. He's in Boston, Massachusetts. And if you know, if you look him up, uh, and you want to help him, if there's some way you could help him financially or whatever, get a hold of him, because he's slowing down. He's getting older, so slowing down a bit. But I think his dream is still alive. There are many of these patios attached to cancer centers all over the place that he built. So here's to Terry. He helped me do that album and the Velvet Arm album, and he also donated all of the money, 25 years ago, for me to buy my own studio equipment. He just gave it to me. He said, "Here, take this money, buy what you need, and so you can make albums that will." So Terry Egan, I wouldn't be sitting here without you, buddy. I love you. Okay. Damn, that's good. Okay, good one. Let's see, guitar. Oh, Guitar House Canada. I would like to try what's in the middle of the table. Oh, this is just, this is Crown Royal. This gets filled with different liquors, but to tell you the truth, it's been many years since I drank Crown Royal, and it's a whiskey, but it's like I don't know. You look at it and go, Crown Royal, whatever. But damn, it's good. It's really good, and it's a beautiful whiskey. So there you go. Okay, Guitar House Canada, Peter Alicia. Ooh. Panagiotis from Greece says, "Long live Canada." Yes. Let's see. Oh yeah, Norman Ben, Norman Ben, whatever. It says Labatt's 50. My father drank that stuff too. Okay. Oh yeah, the shirt is awesome. Yeah, there you go. Disappointments, all of you. Let's see. Don't get him started. Oh, Chris Elliott says my Shenmue OM45 shows up Friday afternoon. Boy, I'm telling you, if you can get one of those guitars, you better get them now, because I'm telling you, they're just not. There's no way they can keep doing it for that price. I just can't see it. Those guitars are going to double in price in the next 3 years if they don't go under. Hopefully they don't go under. I'm praying that they don't. But man, Shenmue is killing it. They're just killing it. The stuff that they're building for the price that they're asking. Now, mind you, I'm going to be very honest with you. I'm not sure. I don't agree with their copying of Loudon's and McPherson's. I think that's a mistake. It might be okay over there, and in Europe it might be fine. But over here, copying a Loudon, I know George Loudon. I never met him, but I play one of his guitars, and I've reviewed his instruments, and he's a legend. I mean, you don't copy a guy like that that's alive and still trying to sell his own product. Same as McPherson. You don't do that either. But the other things that they're doing, they're public domain. They're everybody builds Martins and everybody builds Gibsons. You can't get away from that. It's those are the body shapes that have been around for 150 years. So you can't say, it's a Martin. They're copying this, copying. No, they're not. It's PD, whatever. But they should really think carefully, I think, about putting McPherson and Loudon copies, trying to put those into the West, because I just don't think it's going to go over. It won't with me. I actually have one of their Loudon copies, and it's a great guitar. It's not a Loudon, and I can't review it because I don't think it's fair to George to do that. So if I was them, and I've told them this, they should concentrate on doing the normal traditional body shapes and designs, because they're so good at it, right? The OM, basically, the OM Martin style OM triple O that they sent me, It's a monster. It's a monster guitar. And yeah, so anyhow, if you can get them, if you can get the Shenmos, get them now. Because I'm telling you, that quality of instrument for that price it can't last. There's no way. They're gonna have to up their price, and it's gonna be paid. People are gonna pay it because they're so good. So anyhow, Shenmue, it's a growing topic online. I wouldn't be, shouting about it unless I've been hearing about it every goddamn day now for 3 or 4 months. So yeah, it's a thing. Let's see here. Guntown, Mississippi. So Vince Fielding says it sounds like a humidifier is running full blast. It's actually not. It's a fan because the ceiling is so high in here. It's treated for recording. The fan is actually blows the air from the head of the air pump to keep the room circulating, and that's what keeps the guitars healthy. It is about it's pretty low in here right now. We're going to need some water. But anyhow, I do have a huge humidifier, but it's a pass-by unit, so it doesn't have a fan. It has a fan, but it doesn't blow like steam. It blows air across water, which gets a more natural humidification. So yeah, it's pretty low in here right now. Jesus, I have to sort that out. Okay, let's see here. Super chat from Jim Waller. Thank you, Jimmy. If my intonation is dead on when using the 12th fret harmonic, but showing slightly sharp and fretting at the 12th, would you say I'm good or crazy? You're not crazy. If it is what it is. If your harmonic, so basically this doesn't matter. So you get the you get the E note. They're going to be both in tune. They should be if the guitar is built properly. So what has to match is the harmonic and the fretted note, which they do on this guitar. That's the only thing that matters, is your fretted 12th fret matches the harmonics exactly. And if they don't, well, the intonation's off. So there's a number of fixes for that on an acoustic guitar, but none of them are easy. But most guitars, the great thing about guitars today is that the technology is such that intonation is perfect on all these. This is a factory-made guitar, but it's made out of primo material that's hand chosen, and it's got the new LR bag system in it on board, as you can see. So, yeah. So this guitar, to think that this instrument would have an imperfection like intonation problems, it's not. It's unheard of. It would have to be such a huge problem, right? Yeah. So, yeah, if your intonation's off, yeah, that's going to take some work. It's going to take some saddle work, for sure, but hopefully it's not. Also, intonation is so perfect on modern guitars that if you are having intonation problems, do not ever take to heart an intonation problem on your instrument with the current strings you have on it. Because strings can be made shitty. You put them on and intonation's off, and it's not the guitar at all, it's the string. So if you're having an intonation problem, change your strings, and preferably another brand. Move from Elixir to XS to Dario, or vice versa, or a nice set of John Pierce, right? Put those on and see if the intonation problem still exists. If it does, through two sets of brand new strings of different companies, if it still is wrong, then you have a guitar problem. But you could have a bad string. I've seen that a lot. Like, I would have to say, easily, I'd have to say 20% of the strings that I've put on guitars, maybe 20%, the intonation's bad. And it's the string, it's not the guitar. So make sure you check that out before you go nuts. All right. Terry Short says, what do you think of the PSSG 161? So I think that's a Boucher, private stock. I'm not sure which one it is because I don't pay attention to model numbers. But you guys all know how I feel about Boucher. Robin builds the best guitars in the world. There's no question. And anything he builds, I'm going to want to own. It's just that simple. I've never seen, there are other builders too. I feel the same. I would own anything built by Kennard or Flameng or Crackett or there's a family of builders that everything they build is just fucking unbelievable, right? So Robin's in that crew. Robin's probably the granddaddy of them all with me because he was with me first. I've been working with him for 12 years, and I've seen that company just, go from building unbelievable guitars to building guitars that every world-class player wants to own, right? So, yeah. I'm sure that if it's a private stock Boucher, yeah, it's going to be deadly. I have two of them. I have a jumbo and a dreadnought, and they're two of the finest instruments I've ever seen in my entire life. They're just, you can't describe them. You just can't describe them. They're supernatural. Supernatural. So, let's see. Staunton, Virginia. Hi. Any thoughts on the new Martin 0017M? I don't know about it, but Martin, touch and go. It could be great, or it could be shit. You just don't know. But, yeah, I wouldn't put a lot of faith in it. If I was you, yeah. See, back in here, just asking, what's the new Alvarez? Oh, okay, so Corey McCormick wants to know what this is. So this is Alvarez's new blackface. It's the 8070 CA Black. So it's a Rosewood Sitka with a killer LR bag system on board. And they're great guitars. These new strings and a truss adjustment because it hasn't been played. It's been sitting in my house, and sitting out here for a while, and it's dry. We have to do an emergency hydration in here. I noticed I went through all the guitars today, and they're for the most part perfect, but it is dry in here. It's about 30, and it needs to be 15% higher than that. But that's winter, right? Bullshit. But yep, there you go. Yes. Blair Feinstein says condolences to the Franks from the string theorists, and it is. We wish you the best, Mike. More Corey McCormick got his Shenmo, and he's blown away. Ron McGraw. Okay, Ron McGraw has a good question. Thank you for all the info over the years. I want to ask your advice. A friend of mine has a 12-string Yamaha 1972 in great shape. Is it worth anything? Yes, it's worth a lot. If you can get a 72 Yamaha 12-string, it'll likely be a slotted headstock. And those guitars, if you can get one and they're in good shape, not banged to shit, get them in good shape. You can set those things up, and they are unbelievable, unbelievable. Look, any Yamaha that you can find that is not shredded, right, after 50 years, because they last 80 years. If you can find one and it's not beat to crap, buy it. It's a no-brainer because they just made such great guitars that they have the most longevity of any instrument outside of Martin and Gibson. They do. It's Martins and Gibsons. Even they're not as tough as the Yamahas were. Old Yamahas, if they were well kept and cherished and maintained and just, have play wear on them, you're talking, they're cannons. They're cannons. So, yeah, I would, if you can get that guitar, I'd buy it in a heartbeat. Cool. Let's see, Cormier. Yeah. Let's see here, just going through. Lots of people talking. Okay, Valvey789 says, what's the Alvarez signature model going to go for? It looks like it's like 36 or 3,800 US, but that's a street price, so it could go lower at shops. And it's due to ship like now. It's this month that it's shipping worldwide. So all of the every Alvarez dealer, every Yeri dealer, not just Alvarez, but Yeri, those dealers have all been given the sheet on this guitar. And so far, it's crazy how many guitars I know have been ordered. We're up into the 50, 60 range that have been ordered, spoken for. So yeah, they're incredible guitars. Incredible guitars. I love mine. Mine's actually downstairs. I got to put it away up here. I've been going through the whole herd today, just trying to figure out what needs to be played, what needs pickups, what needs review, all these things, right? So yeah, it's well worth the money. Trust me. So James Doctor says, "Hey JP, I want to get the best out of my Aston Origin. How do you get such great sound in your reviews?" Well, okay, so the only thing that I'm doing with this microphone that you see on here every week and every review is it's going through Pro Tools. So it's being processed by a really nice preamp, but that's it. There's no compression on this. There's no EQ. There's none of that, because I want the guitars to sound exactly like they sound. So the only thing that I'm doing to this mic is I'm running it through. I believe it's going through my. I can tell by the lights. Yep, it's going through my Apogee, which is a really nice preamps in that, and that's it. There's no mega treatment So if you put this through a decent preamp, it should do everything it does for me, no problem. Okay, let's see. So Studio 108 says, classical guitar player here. I wonder what would be a nice steel string guitar for me to buy. I asked because after watching several episodes, you convinced me into bringing one into my collection. It all has to do with your budget. So, with that being said, anything that I've reviewed, you can go through the Guitar Stuff with John videos. You'll see all kinds of things from $800 Yamahas to, $12,000 Bouchers. And if you're a classical player, which means you probably need some fingerstyle, you're going to be doing fingerstyle, I would definitely go with an OM body style, or even, there's so many, but OM, a smaller body, or perhaps even a triple O, a super small body that has 12 fret to body like a classical guitar has. I mean, my signature Boucher has a cutaway. My Yairi also is a 12 fret with a cutaway, or 13 fret. I can't remember, but anyhow, it's shorter neck than a standard 14. So you want to buy any of those guitars that I've reviewed. Just go look through them. Don't do a dreadnought because you won't enjoy that. It's too big. It's too gross. It's just too much there. So get a small body guitar. It'll make you feel more comfortable. It'll be more like a classical body. Make sure you get one that has a 1 3/4 inch nut, because if you go smaller than that, you'll never play it. It's already going to be shrinkage from going from a classical nut width to 1 3/4. So get a 1 3/4 inch nut, small body, any maker that I've reviewed. You can't go wrong. So just go through the Guitar Stuff with John playlist. You will find a guitar, and you'll find one in the budget you want. Because I've done everything on there, like I said, from $600 to 10,000. So, and they're all great. I don't review bad guitars. I just don't, because if I do, I hurt the company, right? I've been asked before to do certain companies have sent me guitars, and I've played them and went, I can't do this. There's no way. I can't review this, because if I review it, I'm going to say that this sucks, because I can't lie. So, do you want me to review it, or do you want it back, or what do you want to do, right? So, all of my reviews, they're all truthful. They're all what they are. So, a lot of people ask me to review certain companies, and I just can't, because I don't believe they're good enough to I can't give them a 100% positive review. I just can't. I'm sorry about that. Sometimes it makes me feel bad, because I know you people want me to review Martins or Guilds, or I don't know. There's hundreds of companies, but I know from playing them that I would have to point out what I feel as a professional touring musician, what I feel are absolute shortcomings in what they're doing. And I don't do it. I just don't review stuff that if I wouldn't take it on the road, I'm not reviewing it. End of story. It's the truth. Fight me. Labatt's Blue. Canadian. All the way. I'm Canadian. I just had sex with a beaver. All right. All right. Let's see here. We're getting close to the end, boys. Super chat from Neil Hudson. Member for 47 months. 47 months. How do you make any money on Spotify? Fuck no. Next question. J.J. Allen. Any chance you can inspire them to do the Yeri model in a triple O? Doubtful. They've put a lot of investment and research, because they never built this guitar, ever. They have never built a slope-shouldered I'm pretty sure it's a 13 fretter with a cutaway. They never built one before, ever, in 85 years. So yeah, there's no way I would ask them to modify it even further because it's a masterpiece the way it is. So yeah, Mark Smith, member for 43 months. Local shout out to Tom Dorward from the Folklore Center in Halifax. Rest in peace, Tom. You will be missed. Condolences to the family. Guitar Heads Eternum to Tom Dorward. We appreciate you. You were there forever at the Halifax Folklore Center in Halifax. I agree. I'm sorry. I apologize that I forgot about that. But yeah, here's to Tom. And thanks for everything you gave us, and all the great instruments you gave us, and all the encouragement and keeping the scene alive in Halifax through that shop, which is going to continue on. So if you're from here and you're wondering if Tom's passing is going to affect the Folklore Center, of course it will. He'll be gone. But the shop's staying open. So the young fellows that are in there working for him have taken it over. And his widow, of course, is going to keep her hand in the mix. And so here's to Tom and the Halifax Folklore Center, Guitar Heads Eternum. Love you, Tom. All right. Herschel Richter, member for 53 months. 53. Herschel Richter has been here since the first thing. The first night I did this show, he asked me a question because we were laughing about it. As I had, of course, wanted to make fun of his name, but I love that guy. Thank you, Herschel, for being with us for all these years. It's unbelievable. And he said thanks for those honest reviews. So I love you, brother. I appreciate you. Okay, so let's see now. We're going to start a brand new list here. I've got a new book coming too. This is going to go away. So I'm going to ask the skill testing question tonight is, let's see. Oh, also, Jesus, yeah. Buck White died as well. One of the greatest musicians ever. Bluegrass, country, his daughters. Buck White. Here's to Buck White. Man, it sucks. Everybody's dying. People are just kicking off. Like, it sucks to be losing all these great players. Buck White, love you. Guitar Head Eternum. So the skill testing question tonight will be, how many days away is my birthday? And by the way, the prizes are sitting here waiting to go out. The main prize has already gone out. I think as soon as it arrives here, Roger's shipping it out to the grand prize winner. And we've got the other packages here, so those will go out next week. We've been sick, or we would have done it sooner. So let's see here. Sam Stahl. You were the first one, buddy. Sam Stahl says 8 days, and you are correct. So there you go. There's the first. You're the first guy on the list for the 2025 giveaway, which will happen next December. Sam Stahl, love you. And this is great. I'm so glad to be back with you all. And I wish you all the best. I wish you a powerful. It's a powerful 2025. Canadians can't play bluegrass. Yeah, I wish you all a powerful 2025. And I hope to see you out on the road. I hope that you continue to follow our reviews, follow our foolishness. And we love you. And we love all of our other YouTube brothers that are out there. There's so many of them that contact me regularly. I love them all. And all of our partners, all of our dealer partners, all of our builder partners, all of our equipment partners. couldn't do this without you. Couldn't do it without you. So there you go, boys. Let's see if I can point some music. Could very well do. I'll just wait. We'll figure that out later. We love you, and we'll see you next week. Everybody's back in studio. Coot, Ginger, me. Might even have a special guest. We'll see you soon. Love you. See you next week.